I guess I will call the meeting to order. Can I get a vote on the minutes from January 10th, 2000? Seriously, is that 2000? No, that's, the date needs to be changed on there. It
Oh.
says 2019.
Sorry.
It's
We'll
okay.
change the date.
So the date needs to be changed on the minutes to 2020, even though it was last January.
Got it.
We also need, I think, other references to 2019.
Do you have the right minutes? I might have put the wrong ones in, so you might not be able to vote. Those look like they were printed the wrong day.
Have we met since then?
January.
That might be right, isn't it?
It is right.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
2019, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's correct.
Really?
Yes,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Alrighty, I apologize.
That's okay. No, I was thinking I can't.
You're
believe
right. Wow. I apologize, I lost an entire year.
So
Most
did we
people
all.
did.
Okay, I guess we,
We all did.
Yeah.
I know. I guess I won't be revising the date, and we'll just, can we,
I would move that we accept the minutes of that meeting, whenever it
Second.
was.
all in favor?
Thank you.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Have no public
You might
comments.
just wanna
We
acknowledge
can, welcome Larry Ballantyne, our
liaison.
liaison from the Selectmen's office. Sorry, it's been a long time, Larry. I'm just getting back into the swing of the meetings. So, welcome. I guess we can. Do we have anything specific to discuss with Larry?
No, he's here as your liaison, so we'll
Okay.
be here for your meeting.
So we'll just continue on. We'll start out with the COA board. What have you been doing for a year and a half? No.
Meeting.
Meeting.
Nothing particular from the other day.
No,
I don't have any particular report.
Okay.
Normally I would, but I don't really, so,
she just gave us updates of what was happening
yeah.
with the COA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fairly lengthy. We had a long thing of various programs that are coming back into existence and that kind of thing, so.
So we're all sort of coming back to life, kind of
Yep,
thing.
yep.
And we're missing our rec commission member.
I don't know if you heard me, Van had to go take his wife, so he apologizes that he couldn't be here.
Who?
Van, he is the
Oh, yeah,
person
okay.
from the
Mhm.
COA.
I'm with you.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not sure how we would have old business with the budget.
Actually, you do, if
Okay.
you don't mind.
Never
Thank you.
mind.
If I can call your attention, inside your packet, there is a large handout. And of course, the graphs and charts, because that's what we do. The town administrator held a meeting of the department heads and asked for information, both for the upcoming year and kind of our projected projects. And I know this group has certainly looked at 5-year plans, but I wanted to highlight what I put down and see if I missed anything that you all had mentioned that I didn't have. I hope I did not. So on this sheet inside your packet, it simply says the projected request would be a new phone system for the building. We're currently not on the same phone system as Town Hall. Our phone system is 20 years old. I think I would have support across the board for, from each department. That's something we're lacking in our phones, so. I know Foster from IT also supported it, so. This one is near and dear to mine, increasing the programs. I feel like we're not doing enough family programming. So as soon as we can get the building back up and operational, I think that we should put that in our budget so that people can rely on, whether it's once a month is movie night with the kids, or, so I'd really like to do some more family programming so that we're hitting that demographic. The building furniture, some of you have seen, again, some of it's
It's
20 years old. Some of it, we make do, it's fine, but if I get to put a wish list out there, we'll put that out there,
Sure.
so. The building and event, part-time evening, nights and weekends, it's all about getting the building open and more, which we all talk about. If we have this beautiful place, we want it open as much as possible, so people can use it. The large fans for the gym is not air-conditioned, but sometimes we get, you all know, at town meetings, people are saying how warm it is in there. So they do make those industrial large fans hang from the ceiling. I think that would help with circulation and flow. We do have summer programs in there. I think it's a wise investment. I wish Sean was here, he could talk a little bit more about that as well. The bleachers in the gym, this is something that's been on our list for a little bit. We've redone the floor in there. We have not redone the bleachers. We could have a field trip if you'd like to see what I'm talking about. When they're pushed in, some of them are sagging because they've had a lot of use, which truthfully, that's what we want. They're not dangerous yet, but we need to forecast, so.
Sure.
Smart boards in the room. We're 21 years old, and when we built the building, whiteboards were the things. Technology, we need to keep up with that. That's important. People are utilizing the rooms. We want to make sure that we're giving them everything they need to be productive. So, a direct credit card machine, when we are back on and up and operational, we take credit cards. But in order to go through, you're welcome to if you'd
Yeah,
like.
I was gonna say.
Well, I'm hesitant because it's a public meeting. I want to be sure we don't look like we're being.
If you want to do it they should be done walking by. It's just one class let out. I apologize. So we have to go through 3 different phases. It would just make it a quicker process for people. So, an ATM machine in the building. We get this request a lot.
Yeah.
A separate passport station in the building. I will get you the statistics on the passports and how many we do. And it's a process where sometimes people need some privacy. Right now, we're doing it at the front desk. I leave my office. Some of you have been in there when a
Sure.
passport person needs to come. And maybe we can clear out some of the emergency management. I had some ideas on that, but again, this is just the wish list.
Is that other tiny room not usable?
It's
For
not, that's
passports?
that's where our copies are, so you can't, that's the problem, is that we keep fitting it into spaces, so it's interfering with other people's work problems, so we'd like just a little area, we don't need a big office or anything, and maybe we could create something, and happy to talk with Sean about
Sure.
if there's some, nook that we could put a fake wall. You don't need a lot,
Right.
but it would help, I think. A computer lab in the building. I really feel like this is an area we're not addressing the public needs. People come in all the time. We have different hours than the library. The library does have computers that you can use, which I think Ginny would tell us all how important that is in their use. There's not a lot of printers people can print from, and so something, and I also think that if we got that back up, a computer lab, we could offer some computer classes at whatever, beginner all the way up. I think those are areas that we could really enhance the importance of the people and who's utilizing the
We
buildings.
used to have that, right?
A long time ago,
Long time
yes,
ago, yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it would be nice because you could attract a lot more kids after school,
Not only kids, but I
even
think-
older people, but
And
it's
seniors.
nice to get more young
And
young
seniors,
people involved.
but also, there's, I went to school a long time ago. And certainly I can learn on my own, but I think that computers are for every level. If
Oh,
you're an
sure.
expert, you can be teaching or helping us. And if you're just starting out, it's also a great place where we can do some multi-generational
Right.
programming. So that's like a high one on my list also. The painting of the interior of the building, some of the rooms are really in need, and I'll work with Sean on that. The others are things that I know that are on our list, but I just wanted to make sure everybody, we're all on the same page. looking at the fee for a weight room and fees for the building. I know that was on the selectmen's agenda to really look at what we're doing, so it obviously shows up on ours too. The weight room expansion, I'm gonna keep putting it on there because that's what people ask for, so I'll keep you updated. The weight room equipment, the weight room staff, we're trying to address that. Then I put in programming for families. Also in here is more exercise programming. And at some point, maybe looking at how we do that, whether we hire people that the money goes back into the town general fund. And so I think that's a bigger discussion on what we do. Right now, people are renting a room and they take the money. And I think there's an opportunity that we can do better and more programming if we have maybe some independent contractors or something like that. I'm not talking about staff or.
Is that a big deal to set up a revolving fund and so on?
Revolving funds are, yes and no. I think that revolving funds have a place, and certainly it is something that we have for the weight room. Whether it needs to be evaluated, the revolving fund report is in here, because I know that that's also on the selectmen's agenda. You know,
It just seems to me that so many of these activities ought to be, the money that's being paid into them ought to be used for them. And I guess that's the effect of or intent of a revolving fund.
right, and there are different levels of revolving
Right.
funds. So ours, if I'll speak about ours for the weight room, is that people pay for the weight room and we pay for a few things. We pay to fix any equipment. If equipment needs to be replaced, we pay for the part-time employee that's in there from 6 a.m. till 10. We pay for the cleanliness, the gym wipes, which are so important right now. We spend a lot of money on those. So I agree with you, that money should come in there. But at some point, I know that it's important for us to be giving back to the town too. I mean, it's in a town building. So I think that there's some balance there, whether it's a 50-50 split, 50% goes into the general fund, 50 goes to maintaining the building. I think that a deep dive into the finances of that is really what's needed.
Excuse me, who decides those kinds of things?
That would be at the selectman
Oh,
level.
all right, okay,
So, and I know that they have it on their agenda, and I know the town administrator's looking at it.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carolyn, I
Oh.
agree with that, you know, revolving fund is not, there's some steps to it. First have to go to town, selectman has to do it, and has to go to town meeting to create a revolving fund.
Really? Oh, wow.
And then
Yeah.
generally after revolving fund is created, then you go back and figure out how you're gonna fund it. And then that comes into the fees and so on. And I've had same reservations you have, was that, we should be able to budget things without a revolving fund, but it does make it clear. Some of the discussion we've had at the board is, and, I know, one select in particular has been concerned that, we've created a lot of revolving funds at the moment, and without a lot of oversight. And so the sense is that we should bring that into the, not do anything different with revolving fund, but at least have accounting, so we have a check on how the money's being spent.
Yeah,
You know, I know of no problems going, we have no issues of someone abusing a revolving fund and doing anything crazy, but just in terms of good financial accountability.
sure.
Our discussion can focus more on just keeping track of how the money comes in and out. But I think, to your point, Karen, that's the decision we have to make, that makes feelings, but
Yeah.
revolving fund, the other thing revolving fund does do for you, it creates a place to take donations and have it specifically go to the
Yeah.
area that you're concerned with.
Right.
So there's some people who will push for revolving fund because then you can accept money easily.
So Larry, are you saying that I'll just use our weight room revolving fund, for example. You're saying there's no the town accountant doesn't account for that fund?
Not, well, she authorized the bills, but there is some level of accountability, but it doesn't show up in the same line item look at. you know, say a summary page, it comes to the selectman or the accountant or to the treasurer.
Okay,
And so in a normal function, you'd like to have that be tracked, you know, say get a, not, I'm not gonna say quarterly, at least an annual report of exactly how the revolving fund is spent.
okay.
And we don't get that. She authorized the invoices, so, you know, it's not like it's a free universe out there.
Yeah, but
No
she
one's
has
allowed
to approve
She has to
of what's
approve of
being
it.
spent based
Right.
on the purview of the revolving fund,
Exactly.
right?
It would just make it neater if we could publicize this is how it went.
Okay.
Just, you know,
This discussion came up at the Council on Aging with Linda. You know, like when they have the elections, she has to cook for them and do everything else.
Right.
Is there an easy way that, you know, Anita Doucette could pay into the fund for
Right.
all the food and all the extra stuff that Linda has to prepare? So I think it has come up a few times, as how do you tactfully do it?
I agree with all that's been said, and I will just say that, I know that the town administrator has asked, and we are in complete compliance, that he would like a report every 3 months about the revolving fund and how it's spent, and I've included one in your packet. We do that every 3 months, and we are happy to provide it. I know, we're not talking about the cultural center, but we post that one online. I can post ours online. I want the people to know very transparently what we're spending it on, so that
Sure.
there's no questions. I mean, it's a large budget that we have coming in. And I think it's important that we all get on the same page. However the town deems it best for us to move forward, that's what we'll do. I don't think anyone's thinking we should not have a weight room, so how it's funded is just the discussion,
Right.
so. But just so you know, the town administrator asked, and we do comply,
Right. But like you
with the
said,
monthly, the 3-month report.
the town did, vote on it for us to have it, and we do it, and then it's accounted for. So there's,
As long as it doesn't get too bureaucratic, that's the only thing I'm
Right.
thinking of, too
well,
many.
and that's a good point. You have to be careful with it, because
Right.
there's no issues. You just, try and do good,
Absolutely,
Well,
and I
they-
think it's always good to look at practices, we're looking at what we do,
sure.
Yeah.
so.
But I didn't realize that the town meeting has to actually approve each revolving fund. It's
They do, the town
Every
meeting,
year.
you look at the town warrant, it approves the revolving fund. And
really,
it also approves an upper limit on the revolving fund, which is kind of a game play, I shouldn't say that, 'cause, we set it hopefully higher than what we expect to get in.
Sure.
It's a lot suggested this year, but it's another mechanism so it doesn't go crazy.
So Carolyn, we haven't ever reached our max, have we?
No, and actually,
Hopefully you don't.
No, I don't know what I do not know what the maximum on our particular
I'm not actually
revolving
sure what
fund is set
happens
at.
when we do that.
so I will make you all a report, this is one that I was speaking of that we send to the town administrator. This is about the weight room revolving, this is the history of it, that's what you were talking about, that goes through town meeting.
Yeah.
Here's what we spent in July, August, and September, how many members are coming in, our hours, and I write down exactly what we're spending it on. And then I always do a synopsis of what the previous, looked like, so we're happy to provide that.
Can't ask for more than that.
but it's a lot of work, my
It
God.
is, yeah. Thank you, Carol.
No,
Yes,
no.
thank you. So,
On this list, I don't know what, the equipment at the cultural center is on this list, and the emergency closet, reuse and space, maybe that's the passport office. So those are just the things that I know that we've talked about in some form, so I wanted to put them down, and I'm also, this group knows, I'm also very aware that town money is for everyone, and we need to be good stewards of that, so a wish list is lovely, but I think it has to be realistic too, and know that I'm one department, and there's many others, and so I didn't wanna ask, for 3 more buildings attached.
Right.
I wanna do things that are real and impactful, that will make a difference, so.
How many passports do we do in a month?
Roughly,
Roughly,
um,
on a normal year,
yeah.
On a normal year, I'd say we do about 50,
Really? Wow.
yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
It's a real service.
It is a
Mhm.
service, and those numbers are they're not hard for me to track, but they're different passport levels,
Mhm.
so you don't get any,
Right.
the town gets $35 for each passport that we process, as a first-time passport, but we don't get money for renewal passports, but that's a service that we offer because we're able to help somebody.
Sure.
There's a lot of people who, filling out forms isn't their thing, and
Does any of that money come here, or does it all go to the town?
general fund, it's all right to
Okay.
the general fund. So, and there are,
I've used that service, by the way, just show my bias.
you don't use it?
Well, sure I do.
Oh, okay, I'm like, I think.
I've used it.
I've done it, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
So we wanna make it is a great service, and it's something that we can provide for everyone. Both, Samantha and myself are certified passport agents, so, we get renewed, you have to take a test each year
Yeah.
to keep that certification, so we've been doing it for quite a few years, and we continue to grow, on the
That's good.
service,
That's
so.
a good thing, yeah.
Yeah, good stuff there.
Carolyn, can I just comment on on one of your items, was the family programs?
Yes, sir.
Because this week I've gone through the Council on Aging meeting, I'm also liaison to the library. So
Hmm.
I've been to that last night.
What are you doing in your spare time?
Larry's busy this week.
And, well, I'm trying to catch up on some committees, well, this is, any case, doesn't matter. But the thing that was interesting to me is that Council on Aging was brought up, that Human Services Department, to kind of bridge this gap in family programs, the same thing you're talking about here. And actually, the same type of discussion comes up to the library. And so, everyone's trying to do, basically, in some sense, fill the gap between seniors and youth programs, if you will.
Correct.
3 different committees I've been on, it all comes up. So the reason I wanted to raise this, maybe Carolyn, you and Emily and Jenny could get together.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you talk anyway, but this is maybe an issue that if you come in as a group, program or ideas, maybe we can get that, because it's, certainly everyone agrees it's a critical need. Maybe we can muscle up and
Happy to follow up.
We have a
Absolutely.
joint committee meeting too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice,
and
yeah.
talk about that. 'Cause I've heard it
Absolutely.
3 times now, so even, so I'm getting to get it.
No, Larry, it's a good thing
That's good to
because
know.
when
Yeah.
you think about it, when this building was originally built,
Well-
I'm not sure if you were around.
It opened, we moved here in 2000, so it just opened.
Okay, so it just opened.
But, and this has been, I brag about this building a lot because of the design is phenomenal. You have, the original designs, I understand it, with a senior section, a youth section, then this area in the middle, we kind of come together. So now we have to take, I'm not sure in my own mind we've taken as much advantage of that as we could.
Hmm.
I know you guys are all working together, but
Mhm.
Right, but that's why the original, purview was under one roof.
right. No,
That was their,
The framework.
that
is
was their
there. We just
hashtag
need the
before
concept.
hashtags were hashtags.
no, I just wanted to raise that
Yeah.
because it's come up. on-
So it's good that we're trying to revisit, the foundations of the building. And I love that Ginny's trying to do it at the library too, so.
Well, they're very active over there. They've got a
They
lot
do
of,
they
they do
do-
some fabulous
As does the
programs.
COA, so I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
great idea, we'll all work together and then the rest of the budget is information that you've seen. And the spreadsheet again is really just tracking 2018 to 2022. Very little changes, and any changes I tried to account for, but as always, we try and keep our budget as minimal as possible, noting that we are the people who are paying the lights and the gas for all 5 of the departments inside the building, so that was what I wanted to bring up about the budget.
Okay.
Thank you. And I talked about the revolving point. I brought with me, I don't know where you all stand, and I can certainly contact Anita, she just happened to be out yesterday, I apologize, to make sure that you are all up to date on your ethics training as required. There's also, some great tabs on the Town of Harwich website. You can go right in there and look at, they have an ethics training, and so I can find out for you, you can certainly check in with the.
Is that something we have to do every year?
I think we do it every year.
Okay.
I think we do.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
not a bad thing.
No, it's one of those things, you know, you
Can I
just
ask-
feel like you do it all the time.
Right.
Can I ask a question? If you're on more than one committee, do you have to do the ethics training with every single time for each of the committees, or can you do it once and list all the committees you're on?
I honestly don't want to give you the wrong answer. I don't know that, but I'm happy to follow up and find out for
Okay.
you.
I'm
Okay,
betting it's once.
okay, because I've done it. And
Do you know that, Larry?
I'm
I
just
think it's
wondering.
I don't
once,
know.
but
Think
I would double check it.
I
but
will.
I think it's
Thank
once.
you. Oh, okay.
Because it's
Yeah,
the
I'll check
same
it.
It's the
exact
same
thing.
But I
Right.
didn't know.
But you do have to file a certificate with each committee, do you not?
I wonder if you can print it and then hand it. I'll find out for you. I'll get the
Okay.
actual
I'll
information.
check, because I think Anita's a keeper of the record.
She is,
so
yes.
Okay,
Since she's a
Thank
keeper of the record,
Yep.
I would think it applies to all the committees.
Okay.
okay,
Yes.
thanks.
Happy to find out.
I've done 2 or 3 of them, filed them, so,
Yeah.
with the committees, anyway.
Okay.
Right. So that was just your friendly reminder. I know that we had been waiting for the generator. It is back up and operational. Sean is not here to give you that big news, so I will. Operations and services in the building. We are, if you skip down, we're only open until 4. As you all know, that is my top priority to change that. I don't think we're serving nearly as many people, and we have been interviewing, so I'm very hopeful that that information will be changing soon, and we'll get back to being able to be open until the evenings and then on Saturdays. So we're hopeful and we're moving forward, and really appreciate the support we're receiving to get that up and operational. People want it. It should be. It's silly to have a center that's only open till 4. We're missing a huge population.
Right.
Right. And on Saturdays, you're missing a big population of kids.
Absolutely. Yeah,
That's a big
absolutely.
factor.
So, and just to, you know, put this out there, because I know we haven't talked about this in forever, this is because we don't have the staff or the janitorial staff to
Janitorial staff, yeah.
clean the building and keep it clean during the hours after 4 o'clock, because we used to be open till what, 9 or
9 p.m.
10?
Yeah.
9, yep.
So from 4 to 9, we're missing,
Is-
you know,
Is
It's-
that because the town requested
The
that the
custodial
janitors
staff.
be moved to other places?
Correct, and again, I wish that they were here. They can certainly speak more eloquently than I can. You know, with COVID, we had to make sure that we were cleaning every building. There were
Yeah.
requirements we had to do. It's a hard job. They were keeping the community safe.
sure.
So they moved people where we had never had cleaning before. They changed the custodial hours so that they could overlap, so that if somebody was out here, there was somebody working the exact same hours who could maybe do 2 buildings, just to make sure that we could all stay open and up and operational. So my understanding, and again, don't quote me, but that custodians are, the staff for the highway department are working right now from 6 in the morning until 2 or 2:30, I apologize, in every building around town, so that we're meeting the requirements that were set. We are, so from 2 to 4, we don't have
Sure.
somebody, but there was just no way we could stay open from 2 until 9 with no service, with the amount of people coming through. So we have come up with some creative ideas, and that's why I'm excited that we're gonna get it back up and open, and it's great. We're learning a lot and moving forward.
Is it custodial staff or?
So we're gonna do a hybrid of that kind of model. Maybe we're going to have a cleaning service who just does restrooms and hallways come in a few days. And we're going to put another person, as you all know, we don't like one person in this building. It's 32,000 square feet. One person would be, it could be detrimental to
Sure.
the staff person, certainly the clients that we're trying to serve. So a minimum of 2 people in here at all times. So with doing these interviews, we're gonna be able to maintain that and get us back up.
When do
and
you
help.
think it might open up? Is it a rough idea, like?
I can say, you know, we've been interviewing. I feel pretty good about a lot of the candidates that we've seen, so I'm hoping that we'll move forward. I'll meet with the administration, but I don't have an actual date.
No, I didn't
But
think so.
We want to make sure that we're getting as quickly,
Yeah.
as safely as possible.
These
So,
are paid folks, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Is volunteer work?
We've tried volunteers, and we always supplement with volunteers, but volunteers are hard, as you know.
That's harder.
They
Sure.
don't, we did try that, and it
Mm.
didn't, the people couldn't show up, and they didn't
Yeah.
call, but we love volunteers, and we will supplement a million times. Anybody who wants to, come on over.
Right.
Our volunteers are very important, so.
so I know this isn't, like I said, the responsibility for the custodians is not your responsibility. It's not your, specific job. Is there any talk about changing it back the way it used to be? Should this ever end? Let's say the pandemic ended in December. In January, are we going back to the old cleaning and getting custodians here till 9?
I'm gonna say,
I wasn't sure if
I
that
don't
was-
believe that. I think that, just because we weren't mandated to clean those other buildings doesn't mean we shouldn't have been. And I don't wanna speak for the highway department. They're doing an excellent job. I think that they're trying to make sure the town remains safe and,
Sure.
so whether it's a pandemic or not, they still wanna have cleanliness for everyone.
Sure.
So I know that, I feel like, I don't want to give anyone the idea that they're not working. I feel like they're working very hard. And I think this is the time when we're recreating what we're doing and how we're doing it. And I think for them, that system seems to be working.
Okay.
So they're looking to supplement in other ways,
I'm
so.
just wondering if maybe, when you do meet up with Link, Hooper, maybe you could kind of emphasize that the diamonds of your town are really your schools and your community center. That's where the people really meet, as opposed, and I know the other buildings are important, I'm not saying, town hall
course.
isn't, but I'm saying the community really should be really robust in the schools and your community centers. So maybe he could shift a couple people over, to
Right.
take care of the nights and the Saturday.
Absolutely, and again, I don't want anyone to go out thinking I'm saying
No,
No,
the
no,
highway
it's
or
not at all.
Sean is
No,
not
it's
working.
not at all. We
They've
can,
been working
we
so,
can.
they're
Yeah,
trying
we're not-
really hard and working,
Yeah.
but,
Right.
and I know that they appreciate what this building does. But I'm happy to
Yes.
have that conversation, and we're certainly working with the administration too, who's been working to help us get it back open. The thing is, we're all on the same side on this,
Right.
we
Sure.
all want it up and open, so
Right.
we're gonna get there, that's
Yeah.
the best news.
Yeah,
So.
and on the plus side too, just so you know too, in terms of our town, our community center does an awful lot when you look at some of the other towns. So that's another highlight.
It
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
it is, we'll continue to grow, so.
Okay.
But I did wanna bring that up, I don't wanna be remiss in
No,
saying
no.
that
No.
we're not working. Okay, so this one is, you guys need to, Lee was,
Reorganization of the facilities committee.
you
that
need
one?
it, yes, you need a chair, you need it to reorganize your chair. Brian is the vice chair, but your chair actually, was Lee. who-
Right.
So you need to vote and set up and take a vote so that you actually have a sitting chair.
So we need,
Now?
are you saying?
Now's
Well,
it.
I think no time like the present.
Unless you wanna wait for,
I'm nominating Brian to move up the chain.
well, thank you.
Are you willing to do it?
Are you willing?
Sure,
Yeah.
I am willing to do it.
Yeah, I would certainly second that if it's a motion.
Yeah. Yeah,
I would have nominated Ralph.
Oh, no, no.
Ralph doesn't want.
Thank you.
Ralph, although I really appreciate you going to the selectmen's meetings and,
I got enough other things
You know.
going on.
so,
yeah.
I
no,
don't want to
that's
interfere with my pickleball and volleyball for one.
definitely would not, I know personally that not to interfere with those.
Thank you.
I'd nominate, vice chair Ralph.
I'm gonna decline, frankly. Angie, you're a better person.
I think Angie, you
How
should-
about Van?
Yeah. How about-
Wow.
How about Angie?
I'm gonna just take all the responsibilities of chair and vice chair. We could do Sean, cause,
Or
you know.
Sean, yeah.
Is he still part of the committee?
He was appointed by the Board of Selectmen, so,
Oh,
But just as a regular member, not as anything.
correct, he's a member,
so
yes.
we
No,
volunteered
because
Sean.
Ralph, well, actually, I'm not sure which of you is the COA member. Is it you still, Ralph?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or is it you?
Oh.
both of us on
No, but
COA.
I think
No,
I'm
no,
a formal member.
Oh, you're.
There's the, the appointed member.
Oh, I get you.
That's me.
Okay. So, yes, I understand you're both on the committee. I'll get over there someday.
So did you,
I guess I'll take a vote on it for,
who is the vice chair? I apologize, I wasn't following.
Yeah,
we haven't really appointed one. We're gonna have to
Yeah.
leave it open.
Andrew, are you willing to do it?
I've got a lot on my plate, so I hate
So,
to take on.
Angie, there's like zero responsibility for vice chair. It's really like, if I don't show up, you lead the meeting. That's it. You can do it. I know you can do it.
I would nominate you.
I will second
I'll
it.
do it for 1 year,
I'm
then
gonna
Ralph, it's you.
I'm gonna second the nomination, and then you guys can swap next year.
Okay, all right, we'll take turns, Ralph,
All right.
although I think
Okay.
it should be you.
Assuming
So,
I'm still around.
You'll
so
be
I
here.
guess we will vote on me being chair and Angie being vice chair. And do I have a
The motions are made.
So you just need a,
vote?
I'm in favor of both.
Okay,
Okay,
as am I.
all right.
It's a unanimous vote.
thank you.
The motion carries.
I will forward that information to town hall.
Yes.
Angie, you'll survive, I promise.
I've got too many things on my plate.
Join the club.
I'm not commenting on that.
It's I was gonna say it's okay. I've done the job before I gave it over to Lee.
Yeah, you
And
talked me in the others.
I did, yeah, so I'm keeping quiet.
so how about, are we going to fee structures?
It's on our list that we just talked about. I have also put out the information, both in our new newsletter, which is in your packet, that we
Mhm.
just started. And we are sending ours out just electronically, and we make copies here. People can sign up to get it sent to them. We're happy to do that. But in my director's update, I asked people about what they'd like to see. We've also put out a specific letter asking people. So I'm gathering all that information, and I want to put together an open meeting that we invite people in, but I was really trying to make sure we could have it at, both in the day and at night. I feel like that's better if we do two, so that we can get both, any of the population that wants to come. So we can talk about what people have asked for, what we're looking for, the fee structure, get some information. So I wanted to put that out there to see how you were all feeling about that, if you're still feeling good about moving forward on gathering information on the fees and what we're charging and involving the public, so that when we do make a recommendation, and prior to holding our public meetings required by the selectmen, we have some input from the community.
Sure.
But before scheduling meetings, we ought to find out if anybody's gonna show up, right? Or we wanna encourage people to offer suggestions.
Absolutely, that's what the letters are,
Yeah,
right,
Okay, I
so,
haven't read
yep,
through the letter, but, okay.
right. Absolutely, we do, we absolutely do.
Yep.
And we've actually gotten some back, so
Oh,
I'm
really?
excited.
That's
People are
good.
emailing and
Yeah.
dropping off, so
This is
I think
good.
people really do wanna know what's
What's
happening,
happening,
so,
yeah.
and be a part of it, and they should, it's their community,
Yep.
Yeah.
so.
I like the newsletter, I think that's great.
Mm.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, we're a little, it's taken a little while, but we're happy that we're up and running. We're gonna do monthly. Hopefully, it's gonna keep growing. If any of you wanna input, we were gonna certainly invite anyone who wants to. If the library has information that they wanna put out there. We want it to be a place that you can get information that you need.
Sure.
Not just the community center, but people call
Yeah.
here all the time
Yeah.
about when is the pantry open, and so
Yeah.
we wanna make sure we're providing that information. We're always happy to talk to them, but we can mail it to them too.
And to whom are we distributing these?
So you sign up if you're interested, and we will send it to anyone and everyone that wants it.
This is wonderful.
We call it like email.
Yes, but we have hard copies made too for anyone who chooses not to.
And I know how much you love Facebook, Ralph, so there is a Facebook link.
Yes, we have Facebook link.
Socially challenged.
Next, we're gonna be on Instagram
No,
and
no,
Twitter
no, no,
and,
no.
TikTok.
Stay out of that. Tick who?
I know that the Council on Aging always posts things also in the, like the Chronicle, but I don't know how much that costs.
We do a monthly,
Yeah,
Thing in
I'm
there
just
as
saying
well.
if we can keep up to, because these are things are cool, these are,
absolutely,
you're very
we'll,
creative, Carol.
oh no, it's a team, you know that, it's always a team approach here. But I will see if I can reach out to Bill Galvin's been great to work with,
Yeah.
and Deb DeCosta over the years
Yeah,
have
yeah.
always been very supportive, so
She's great.
we'll see if we can get a little blurb in there.
Good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
So that's the fee structure and meeting with the community members, hours.
We just
We've talked about.
Talked about the building hours and where we are, and, but I didn't wanna, not put it correct on the agenda so that people
No,
know.
that's great.
Can I put one more thing on your wish list? I was just,
Angie, of
when I see
course.
all
Angie
these,
has her own wish list.
no, I'm just thinking, like outside those, I don't know what the correct name is, the lighted up boards, so you're listing all the things that are happening at the community center. The high school has a small one. I wish it was a lot bigger, but sometimes when you drive by other towns, you can see it. They're advertising, I'll give an example. Near the Dennis Town Hall, they've got a huge sign that's up, and they're posting different things that happen, and they even, they even post cool messages, that just make you feel good when you drive by. I'm just saying, it may be for the future.
Right.
I'm not familiar with it, but I will take a ride and
Yeah.
look at it. You said there's a small one outside Monway
Well,
and one.
Monway
Yeah,
is
you know the
too
one that's
small.
across the
Yeah.
street, the little one that announces little
Oh,
things.
just
at
the ticker tape that
Yeah,
goes
but
across?
it's really too small.
It's just a small LED screen.
Yeah, I was
and
disappointed with that
Angie's
one.
thinking bigger,
Like when I
like
Look at the
television
Dennis
screens.
one.
The Dennis one,
I will take
they're
a
always
look.
doing something cool. And I think there's another town, I forgot who it was, I was driving by, but it's really kinda, you kinda know what's happening,
Sure.
I'll be happy to go take
Yeah.
a look at that and do some investigation.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you.
Okay. We're good with the hours, so the Board of Selectmen meeting.
I was just gonna bring you up to date. I did put your committee, charge in there. I know Ralph was at the meeting, and certainly you have firsthand, Larry was there.
I was there.
So can you explain what was going on? Why we were mentioned?
Yeah,
What brought it all up?
I think there was some concern by one or two members that this committee may not was sidestepping some of the town administration in terms of direction and how the function works. And so Ralph presented, I think, I'm not sure, Carolyn, you talked, to try to explain that. And so the outcome of that is that since I was recently assigned as liaison, I agreed to be sure I came to these meetings, because I think in the end, I read your charge, and I read your mission and reports. Seems to me that this committee is doing everything it's supposed to do. And it's an advisory committee, not just to Carolyn, but to the town. And I think that was maybe the miscommunication, that the feeling was you're advising Carolyn and not to the Board of Selectmen and the administration. And so my sense is, I did meet separately with Carolyn and Ralph to talk through it as well. And so my mission right now is to, I'm not gonna say active, I'm not, because I'm not part of your committee. But I do intend to make as many meetings as I can to provide input into the rest of the selectmen that, yes, things are working as according to the charge.
Okay.
And so that's my, that particular mission. And in saying that, I'm gonna miss this next month because my wife has an eye appointment for an eye doctor. But generally, I'll try to be here.
Okay.
And so what I would like you to do is to be sure I'm aware of any concerns you have, so I can bring them back, and I'll do the same from the selectmen. But right now, I think based on that agenda item, there was some concern that, frankly stated, why do we need a committee when everything's being run normal fashion through the Carolyn and town administration anyway? And I think what is explained in charge, there's a lot of reasons for doing that. To get additional input, so it gives Carolyn, as being the director, is some. I get in trouble here when I try to speak for you, Carolyn. But I think it'd be difficult to be the director and do it on your own without being some assurance that you have some backing for it and some input for it. So I think this committee fulfills a vital role. I just have to be sure, speaking for the selectmen, that it's in line with what your charge says.
Mhm.
And maybe the issue is, I can help communicate that, and you can let me know where you're going with it, and I'll try to do the reverse of it.
Wasn't the committee created by the selectmen?
It is. The
So I'm
committee is in
confused
charge is
as-
selected by it, but, you know, in fairness, we're going through and relooking at charges of almost all the committees right now.
Okay.
Because to say it's created by the selectmen doesn't mean it's always followed, it doesn't change over time. I know on Monday's agenda, this would be a touchy subject, I know that from personal experience, we want to relook at the Bikeways Committee and the Trails Committee. And I say that's touchy because I've been a selectman now for a long time, but I think my first year, I was a liaison to Bikeways and Trails, and so this does make sense. Why don't we combine these two committees? They're functioning almost the same thing. Boy, I got my head handed to me. In quick fashion. Well, we have a lot of committees in town, so we're always looking about, and I don't know where that's going anywhere, but we do need, all of us, look at committee charges.
Sure.
You know, it doesn't make sense. As you know, we're reconstituting the treasure chest committee to try to look at that. And so, I guess Brian, my response to that, because created by it doesn't mean it lasts forever.
No, and that's
We
fine,
are-
hey, but, I mean, I think we were created to help the selectmen, so that you guys don't have to,
Absolutely, because we're not involved.
right, you don't wanna be micromanaging every committee and everything that goes, I
Absolutely
mean,
not.
who has, I'm sure you don't have the time, I know Ralph doesn't have the time to be
Well,
on
we're out
every
there, so
committee,
you have to pick up volleyball or something.
right,
No, but that's where we are, so I think that's my role. I'm gonna try to help out both sides.
okay.
I think we're a good sounding board, I really do,
Yeah.
for Carl. He bounces things off us,
Exactly,
we agree or don't agree.
Yeah, it could drive her crazy.
we do have moments that we don't agree.
Moments?
It-
Just kidding, I'm kidding.
But you gotta remember, we're doing this, that's why we're called the community center.
Absolutely.
We're always thinking about what's good for the community.
Absolutely. We already spoke about the revolving fund reports. I'm happy to get you all copies of that. As I said, we do every 3 months, so I can go back as far as you need.
I, for one, am satisfied.
You're satisfied, okay?
Perfectly satisfied.
So-
I am too, you could always email it to me, or
I can, yes, yes.
you know
for
me in
sure.
paper.
But don't spend a lot more time on it,
Okay,
please.
yeah. So then I was just gonna go through my updates, and I apologize, this is kind of a big packet. You have the minutes, your charges in there. I included the new building information booklet. This is the one where we are, since COVID, we had to kind of look at the amount of people we can have in a room. So we wanted to just give them all the new safety instructions. So in the multipurpose room, it's now 72, just so that it can be safe. And but we tried to update all the information. Please take a look. You know, we change this often. If you see something, or if there's information that's not there, please let me know. We include our fees. This is the same booklet, just updated, copy of how you reserve rooms. And this is online as well as hard copy.
Awesome,
It's well done.
love it.
I believe in your packet is also, do you have the latest activities booklet? If you don't, I have those at the front desk. I probably was saving paper.
That's okay.
So of course, your trick or treat event, we're going to do the drive-through just to be safe for everyone coming up. We have been very fortunate getting some wonderful donations, so we're very happy. The staff is working diligently. We've been picking things up, and everything from candy to pencil boxes to prizes, little games and toys. So we'll put those bags together. And in order to do that, we have the volunteer needed flyer. It's always helpful when we have members of the community who come in, whether they wanna help us stuff the bags, or they wanna help give out on that night. So, everything that you're getting clearly has been posted, online and throughout the building. We always ask the community for the candy donations. And this year, I believe wholeheartedly in the boutique. As you all know, it just gives out costumes. Costumes are expensive. Some parents,
Can't afford it.
they can't. And we have lovely costumes that were donated. We have them here. We
I
can't
love
do our boutique like we did and everyone come in. So we're doing it by appointment. So they'll have their own little showing. That way we can have them contained in a room. And if you're a family who is in a pod together, you're welcome to come together. But this way we have time between. So, but we do have costumes if anyone needs them. And we have several days set up. And if for some reason these hours don't work, as always, please call. You know we will make whatever arrangements we can. Inside your packet, I also included just your FYI, the last report that went to the selectmen, as we're gonna get ready to write our next report, I'm sure. Did I give you everything? Oh, and the last, I just wanted to update you too, for those of you who know and don't know, today will be Erica Strezpek's last day.
Who?
Erica from the Cultural Center.
Oh, yeah.
So she has taken another job. It is in my opinion, a great, great loss to the town. She's exceptional, and we wish her nothing but success. She'll be wonderful wherever she is. The good news is that she is a Harwich resident, so we will still see her, but, I didn't wanna.
Is there a replacement?
So not yet. I am working with administration to see what, they would like me to do, moving forward, so I'll keep you updated.
This is awesome.
I'm sorry, thank you, Brian. On the monthly calendar, which does go in the, Chronicle, we are also trying to do some passive programming. So we have pumpkin stations set up so that you can just come in, paint a pumpkin. If you wanna take it with you, go ahead. If you wanna leave it, we're gonna help us decorate it. The building is decorated again, that's.
Oh, we love that.
Yeah, nicely done. too.
Oh, yeah, you're very creative.
Carrie,
Oh, I'd love to
we
see it.
have, and Sam, and it's a great staff, and,
Yeah.
and really, we really wanted to make sure we were welcoming people back. And what a great opportunity, cause it's town meeting, so people will be in here, so we'll make sure there's plenty of places for them to sign up if they want the newsletter, so that we can get the information to the people.
It's great outside too. You did a great job out there.
Thanks.
So who's responsible for the parsing
Yeah.
and apples?
That would be Carrie, and they're apples from her house we didn't purchase, again, I don't
There's
use
a couple
town.
laying on the ground that are partially eaten.
I think the animals are
The
taking them,
animals.
so we pick them up every morning,
Yeah.
but they're just from the ground, I'll make sure to get those.
Oh, it's a good touch.
Yeah, we make it look-
Add some life to the place, yeah. Right.
This is the other booklets that's out. We are still doing the $15 a month on the weight room because we're only open until 4 p.m. Did I miss anything or did I leave anything out you were hoping I would cover? I apologize.
No, that was,
Oh, you covered.
it's a lot to cover
Good catch up.
in that
Yeah.
long.
We had one more thing on our wish list. I'm sorry, we were discussing this on the Council on Aging.
I'm sorry.
I forgot, it was my fault, it flashed in my brain. We were discussing the Council on Aging. Maybe in the future, they could put in a nice patio in the back of the community center with tables and umbrellas. And we were looking at it from 2 points, if it's flat,
Sure.
it's easier for not only the elderly or disabled, but it could also be used for like families and things like that. So Orleans has a nice one, if you ever trot over to the Council on Aging over there.
Mm.
So I'm just saying maybe for the future, it'd be nice if we could have a nice outside patio where Linda could serve meals outside.
I'm happy to look into it, of
I
course.
have no clue what it would cost, so.
No,
I'm
nor do
just
I,
saying.
nor do
No.
I, but I'm
Yeah.
happy to look
everything's
into it
so
and see, you
expensive.
know, those are,
Yeah.
you know, happy to look at it and see where it falls for everyone. I'm glad it's on the COA's list, and
Yeah,
we'll see how we can move forward.
You do that in your spare time.
yeah,
I got it.
Yeah.
We
Well,
got
no, I
this.
mean, obviously, you know, right behind the weight room would be a perfect spot, at least until somebody, you know, very wealthy would like to donate us the pool. I'm ready.
yeah, that's another.
When
yeah.
somebody wants to do it, the community center is ready for the pool, and we'll tear down the pad and put it somewhere
You know,
else.
if we ever have, I'm just curious, is this legal to do? I don't know. If we ever had dreams of like putting in the patio or whatever, I know Council on Aging wants to put the flower beds in and things like that. Is it legal to host like a big fundraiser, like, wine dinner or something like that, like down at, what are some of these wealthier spots? Wequasit or something. Maybe they would be kind enough to help the town. And they certainly make enough from us.
Larry, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the town can do a fundraiser.
That's what I
Your
was
friends
asking.
group
You
The
can.
friends
But a
groups have
friends
to.
group-
The
Right.
Friends group could host something like
Right.
that?
Yes, but
Yeah,
the
'cause they're
town itself.
independent, but the town
Yeah.
cannot.
Okay, that's why I was asking. I
Yeah.
didn't know. I'm just wondering how, we could fund some of this, that's,
Right. Is there still money in a pool fund somewhere? Or did that get
I
formally?
believe that there is, but I
Did-
can certainly follow up and check.
No,
for
no,
you.
you don't have to, I mean, wasn't sure, I was hoping that at this point it had been rolled into use for the community center that, you know, we
No,
can
once they
actually use
set
it.
up for a specific purpose, you can't just
you
roll
can't.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, so kiddie pool, here we come.
It was a nice dream originally, but it's costly. I know it's very costly.
And, I'm not just saying it because Larry's here, but we also want to make sure that we're doing what the whole community wants.
Right,
From
right.
the selectmen to the people using it, to the people who aren't using it, and why aren't they? So I think having those meetings will help us find out, and certainly hearing from selectmen, you all get information from whether it's pickleball players or volleyball, and you're so connected with the schools. And so that's really why I think that it's great that we're all here working.
Sure.
I thank you very much.
All right, anybody else have anything they'd like to cover?
I would move to adjourn.
What time are you
Okay,
at?
I'll give you the
11 o'clock?
11 o'clock on
Did
the
you do that
dot.
on
Look at
purpose?
you.
Oh, perfect
He knew what time.
timing.
He's like totally in sync with Apple time.
Now I know who's in charge here.
Yeah.
It's the volleyball team.
It starts right now.
Go ahead, be gone
I
with
gotta
you.
go to the
I
next
move to adjourn the meeting, and thank you for thank you for showing
Yeah,
up.
thank you, everybody.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Larry.
Have fun.